You are a choice for somebody. They may see you as the sparkling sun, even if you think that you are dirty snow on the side of the road. Welcome all you bridesmaids and men of honor. It's time for another episode of the Cozy Quilt Cinema. I'm Michelle.
And I am Beth, in the back pew crying at a movie I've already seen. Every week, Michelle and I curl up on the couch, watch a movie, and then we carry it into the studio and pull it apart like Holly Golightly going through your things. It's not a critical review, though we absolutely will be critical. Does it still get you? Are we the ones who needed 5 occasions to finally say it? Or have we been standing in the rain this whole time, waiting to be asked? Pull your Nona's Afghan from the back of your couch and come be our +1. We RSVP'd twice. Strange women lying in ponds distributing swords is no basis for a system of government.
Why are you like this?
You should ask yourself, why aren't I like this more?
Oh, my friends. So it was a short week for me. How was your week?
Equally short, for the same reasons.
Exactly.
Because it's a holiday of some kind for someone. Not for me, but for other people. Funny, when the majority of people have a holiday, you also get that holiday, and then they complain about you getting the holiday despite not being part of their group.
And except if you really, I'm going to piss off people, but if you really break it down, it's not even a Christian holiday.
No, it's not.
It's Ostera.
But it's not even my holiday, so.
I mean, it's a pagan holiday. It's a pagan holiday with Mary. What? I don't know where that came from.
I don't know.
I Mary Poppins did.
You really did.
So yeah, it's weird that if you break down all of the symbolism of Easter, it has nothing to do with Christianity.
Yeah, I feel the same way about my car. If you break it down, has nothing to do with Christianity.
I mean, I'm also the asshole that points out that Christ wasn't born in the winter, but yet we celebrate his birthday at Christmas. So, it is what it is.
Seasonal shift is a bitch.
I know. But, again, you don't point that out to uber Christians, because then you will get burned as a witch. So
it's funny that you used the word uber, because it's becoming distinctly Germanesque in its familiarity.
What? Oh, America?
Well, maybe the faction that's currently in power.
Yes. Wait, no, definitely. I'm seeing that left and right and upside down.
Nothing on Germany.
Nothing
Germany's
on Germany.
Great now, but there's a history there.
They had their shit, and we're basically repeating it, so there you go.
Well, we're repeating something that they also repeated.
Mm-hmm.
For us.
Yeah.
It's cyclical.
Cyclical. Like a figure 8.
Just like a pile of shit. Cyclical.
Fascism works in a circular motion.
My God.
Oh, Donovan, don't curse me, please. I love your song. I don't want. Yeah.
So
we are doing 4 weddings and a funeral. Woohoo!
Well, at least there's one good part.
The funeral, obviously. No, that's actually. I've got so much about this movie. Things I've made mistakes on. Things I'm concerned about. Things
Well, give us a summary of it.
Okay, here we go. In Britain, slightly bumbling and always tardy Charles and his closest group of friends seem to always be attending weddings, but are never the bride nor groom. And as such, each with the exception of gay couple Gareth and Matthew, is looking for love. At the wedding of their friends, Angus In Laura, where Charles is acting as best man, Charles meets an American woman named Carrie. For him, it's love at first sight. She too is attracted to him. Although they spend a memorable evening together, that's all it ends up being. Over 3 more consecutive weddings, some of the brides and grooms who are very near and dear to Charles's heart, and one unfortunate funeral, Charles runs into Carrie. But something always seems to prevent the two from getting together. He also runs into a plethora of old girlfriends, one of whom he may believe is really the one he was meant to end up with, especially if Carrie seems to remain unobtainable. Will Charles settle for who is in his heart or his second best? Or will fate finally bring Charles and Carrie together? And that is by Huggo, who we've had a few times before with our...
We're going to stick with Huggo?
Yeah, well, it's 2
On
Gs.
the off chance?
It's 2 Gs.
Okay.
So I teach literacy, so Huggo would make sense to me. If it's Hugo with an extra G, email us.
I've heard it both ways.
Thank you, Sean Spencer.
You're welcome.
So yes, that's the IMDb. So 4 Weddings and a Funeral was, this is the 1994 version because apparently they did a series. A short-lived series, I guess. I don't know if they remade it.
Me looking at you on a podcast, agog.
Agog.
It doesn't translate
I
to
know.
the microphone.
I know.
So I was trying to rub it with my eyes. But my eyes aren't whispering.
No, let me whisper in your eyes. So this is directed by Mike Knoll. And we know Mike Knoll from...
Enchanted April,
Mm-hmm.
Donnie Brasco, one of my favorites, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire,
Yes.
which I do not endorse.
No, but
But I do love the actors in it.
Yes, I do love
Some
the
of
actors
them.
in it. Yes, I'm
I'm very particular about who I like. So.
He also directed Love in the Time of Cholera and my personal favorite, Mona Lisa Smile, with Julia Roberts.
I never saw it.
It's really good. I think Julia Stiles is in that too. I could be wrong.
I think I avoided a lot because they kind of oversaturated her in that time period. So I just stopped watching those movies.
So that one's a good one.
I love her. I do enjoy her movies. But there were so many of them. I think I just kind of lost my place.
Well, you might like this one. I feel like it's a retro piece, but there's a lot to it. We can talk about it later.
No problem.
Okay. This movie was co-written. I'm sorry, not co-written. I was thinking of my clues. Haha, not co-written. This movie was written by Richard Curtis, which we know from
Notting Hill, which you will know who is in that.
Yes.
Bridget Jones' Diary.
Yes.
And Love Actually.
Yes. Also, he did Yesterday, which is funny because I've got another Beatles reference in here too. But
well, yeah.
But I have
British,
not seen Yesterday, but I really want to, and that's the one where the guy he's
like in a timeline.
Yeah,
that's
where that doesn't
altered.
that the Beatles don't exist, so he does their music.
So he kind of starts writing their music.
Yeah, and I just think that's actually kind of crazy and also awesome. So this movie stars Hugh Grant as Charles.
Yeah, Hugh Grant, not Charles himself, is in Notting Hill about a boy, which was excellent.
Yes.
And Paddington 2, because I throw out a wild card every once in a while.
So I, obviously Love Actually. I put music and lyrics, which he did with Drew Barrymore. That was a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I put Bridget Jones, and recently for us nerds, Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves.
True. Very true.
He was such a dick in that movie.
He was, but he plays a really good dick.
So well.
He plays an excellent dick.
Oh, I love him. And I know there was problems with him back in the early 2000s, but you know what? We all make stupid mistakes, and he was a boy child who had to learn how to grow. I think he got caught with a hooker. I mean,
yeah, but I think so let me address that real quick.
Who cares?
Well, I mean, yeah, who cares? But number one, that prostitute or sex worker was a person.
Yes.
2, he was doing something illegal, but there's no shame in being a sex worker.
No.
So I just want to make sure that is out there, that at Cozy Quilt, we're not shaming any adult film stars or not stars or sex workers. You have a right to exist. You have a right to earn a living despite the struggles that you face.
Yeah.
And I think that we need to chill on people's kinks.
Oh, yeah.
On people's, sexual relationships. Those are theirs, and they should be private. This was at an age when the paparazzi were digging for everything because it was all about the scandal.
Oh, yes, definitely.
And I think that we can give Hugh a break on this shit.
Oh, yeah. Again, what you do in your, when you're younger, and he was like at the peak of his...
I don't care how old you are.
But even then, like any mistake, even if you say something stupid when you're younger, I have said a lot of stupid things, but guess what? I learned that they were bad and they were stupid and I got better. And that's how you get better, is by learning and, being a better person. You can't, we're not born with every bit of information on how to be kind and how to be...
That's true.
So you gotta change and you gotta learn. I don't fault him for it. I just remember at the time people were like, "Oh my God."
Yeah, but I wanted to bring it up because you brought it up.
Yes.
It is going to be something people think about. Mm-hmm. And they need to understand, or at least they should think about it.
We here do not give a flying fuck who fucks who.
Yeah.
Unless you're fucking little kids. And then you know what? You're a piece of trash.
Well, yeah. Consenting adults.
Yes.
So,
that's basically...
Speaking of better people...
Andie MacDowell.
See, that was a nice segue.
She plays Carrie.
Yeah, she was in Sex, Lies, and Videotape.
Yes.
Groundhog Day, which is one of my favorite, just fun films. I love it so much. Multiplicity.
So I write a couple... Sometimes I only put one thing down, but sometimes I put a couple things down hoping you don't get them. Like you don't say them. Now, you did say Multiplicity, but you didn't say my favorite Andie MacDowell movie, which is really an obscure movie.
Is it going to be Michael?
No. No, it's not. And I almost put Michael down, but it's not Michael.
That's a good film, too.
But I've forgotten how much I love this movie. This is back when people didn't know how much of an asshole Gerard Depardieu was, so they were really in love with him.
Yeah.
Green Card.
Yes.
I loved the apartment she had with the greenhouse. I loved that movie.
I'm with you on that.
But yes, we did not know at the time. We were blinded.
And another movie to put on the list.
Yes, we were blinded by the Frenchness of him. And then we did not know he was an ass.
When you don't know who someone is, and I think that's going to actually play into this movie, and we'll talk about it.
Yes.
But when you don't know who someone is, it makes it really difficult to have a distinction of how you feel about them other than what you've been shown.
Yes.
You can only base your relationship upon what you see.
Yes.
So
we also have Kristen Scott Thomas, who played Fiona.
Oh, she's just beautiful.
And she is
statuesque and stunning.
Mm-hmm.
She was in The English Patient, The Horse Whisperer, and Gosford Park.
And my favorite movie that she was in, and I don't think she had a big part in it, but she was in Nowhere Boy, another Beatles reference movie.
Oh, yeah.
Nowhere Boy is the story of John Lennon, his childhood. It is such a great movie. After Kristen, we have Simon Callow, who plays Gareth.
Simon. I keep doing that. I keep putting the character name in. Gareth himself, Simon was in Amadeus.
Mm-hmm. He's an older man, yes.
A Room with a View, and Shakespeare in Love.
He was in an episode of one of our favorite shows that we are currently rewatching, Death in Paradise.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and after Simon, we have James Fleet, who played Tom.
James was in Sense and Sensibility,
mm-hmm.
The Vicar of Dibley.
Yes, he was.
We just talked about this.
Yes, we were.
And Notting Hill. Another nod to Notting Hill.
Yes. He was also in a couple episodes of Outlander, and he was in a few episodes of Plebes. And if you ever want a stupid, cheesy British comedy, watch Plebes. It is just that level of stupid, dirty. It's literally a bunch of plebes in Roman times.
Yeah.
And it is so stupid and great, funny. So after Simon, we have John Hannah, who played. I'm sorry, there was an ant over here. He played Matthew.
Okay.
Sorry, there was an ant on the desk. It was,
okay.
Caught my attention.
Well, that's disturbing.
I know.
Did you kill it?
I did. It's going to rain.
Kind of mean. So
it was literally a piss ant.
With that poor ant's death. John was in Sliding Doors.
Mm-hmm.
I actually enjoyed that movie. The Mummy.
He was.
Hell yeah.
He was.
Love The Mummy and Rebus.
He was also in Dirk Gently.
Absolutely.
And The Last of Us.
True enough.
Yep.
Yeah.
We also, I have a couple extra.
I'm with you.
Okay. So Rowan Atkinson, he plays Father Gerald. And if you know Mr. Bean, you know Rowan. And my personal favorite is Blackadder.
Yeah, but he was also, he's done so much.
Oh, God, no, he's everything.
Having him in this film is kind of like putting, it is. It's exactly like putting in, the most famous actors of all time into a rom-com to play a priest. He was in Johnny English. He did all the Johnny Englishes.
Because he is Johnny English.
Yeah, he did Bean, of course. The Lion King.
Yes, he is done, Zazu.
He's done so much stuff. He was Wonka. I don't know that there's anything he hasn't been in some way.
So when they redid Lion King, and they did the CGI live action version, / live action.
Yeah.
And
the read along?
No. So the one
he did the read along as well. So,
no, I'm talking about like the one with Beyonce's voice. And okay.
Gotcha.
I think Donald Glover's in it.
Yeah.
Okay. So the thing is like Zazu is like, that it is Rowan Atkinson. So what's his face? Oh my God!
I forgot he's in Love Actually too.
Yes, he is. He's
he sells the salesman. Yeah.
But God, what the hell is his name? He used to be on The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. He's got his own show. Glasses. He's on Community. He's the British.
I know, but if you keep talking, I can't ever answer you.
I had his name and I lost it as I was about to say it.
No, I don't know.
Okay, but you know who I'm talking about.
I just talked about him the other day. I just mentioned his name and I cannot remember. Hold on. Time out. Yeah, so I looked it up because we're apparently not the brightest bulbs in the world. I just mentioned the other day.
You did.
Talked about
I know. I'm so
John
annoyed.
Oliver.
Sometimes, you have the name and then you go to say something because you're too busy explaining beforehand. And then I go, and I can't remember. So yeah, John Oliver did the voice of Zazu in that version with Beyonce. And honestly, I don't think anybody else could have done that other than him. Like, I give him the credit totally.
So do you think that the animated Community episode was what got him that job?
Oh my God, I hope so. I hope so. Was he
into
also
the cave of memories?
Yeah, he was not in the video game episode, right? No, because he wasn't there for that one. Not. But he was in the cave, the Christmas episode with the claymation. Okay, so
that's what it was, claymation, not animated.
So if you, okay, so
it is animated, has anima.
Yeah, well, it's called claymation. Yeah. Okay, so or stop motion.
Stop motion.
Okay, so David Bauer plays Charles's brother David. Now, David Bauer is deaf, and is my clue from last week. Hugh Grant, he went and learned how to use sign language so he could communicate with him. Since he does have lines where he does have to use BSL, not ASL, but David doesn't, it's like he dropped out of acting for a while. He's starting to act again, but I think he just took a break from it. So
he's been doing a lot of shorts and a lot of TV.
Mm-hmm. I think he does a lot of red nose stuff.
Not a lot, but he does Doctors. He was in one episode. He was in, the One Red Nose in a Wedding. He did Drive Me to the End. Casualty. He's been in smaller things throughout. Mm-hmm.
And back to Rowan Atkinson really quick. He does a lot of red nose stuff.
Oh,
He
yeah.
actually played the doctor in a Red Nose skit.
Okay.
Yeah. But last but not least, and the reason why my darling girl is in this, Charlotte Coleman. She plays Scarlett. We lost Scarlett in 2001. She died of a massive asthma attack. And people don't realize that you can die from an asthma attack because it is so common nowadays for people to have asthma. It is serious. We almost lost one of our children when they were 11 to a severe asthma attack. Their lungs collapsed, and they did not think that he was going to make it through the night. So
I think we did know about this. I think we talked about this years ago.
When she died, I heard about it.
I just forgot about it.
And here's the messed up part. Today would have been her birthday.
Oh, no.
We're recording this on April 3rd.
Well, I mean, maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Let's remember her for...
Yeah. And she would have been 58 years old. And like I said, we are recording this on April 3rd, which would have been her birthday.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's okay. She was in, of course, 4 Weddings and a Funeral. Beautiful people. Oranges are not the only fruit, and I've actually seen a couple of episodes, and I did see one episode with her in it.
See, I didn't recognize a lot of the stuff that she was in, but like I said, when she passed away, and they had made, there's like some article I had seen on the news about it, and they were like, she played Scarlett in 4 Weddings and a Funeral, and Scarlett is my favorite character.
Yeah.
Like, I think she's the most well-rounded character in the whole thing.
Yeah, I think we'll get into that as well. She's certainly the one you get a sense of better than most. So, yeah. I'm glad you brought her into that because I think I would have missed her name in this.
It was very important for me to mention her because she is part of the main cast, but because she's so ancillary, people tend to forget about her. And I guess I always related to her. I just always, she was the outsider. She was a little bit of a weirdo, and I love that about her.
I think she's just quirky.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think that's what endears her to people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that is, okay, let's go through that after we do this. So, how did you feel about this movie before?
So I wanted to see this movie. I was not disappointed by this movie. I did not know it was going to make me cry when I saw it. But I mean, I should have known because it does say funeral. I just didn't think that the character who passes away was going to be one that you grew attached to. Because he's the other, I think, well-rounded character.
Right.
I just think that when I saw it, I wanted to see it because of Hugh Grant. And I was, 94. I didn't see it when it came out. I don't think I saw this movie for many years. I think I probably didn't see it until I was back in New Jersey, and our oldest was like almost a year or so old.
Yeah.
So I was still very much the hyper romantic that I used to be, and I just. I loved it. I loved the stupid dresses and my British obsession. And it wasn't even that hot, my full-blown British obsession. I was just growing it. I was just cultivating it at that time. And yeah, I love when they're like with the first wedding, and I think Scarlett says, "Oh, she's beautiful." And Fiona's like, she looks like a meringue. And I never, like when I was looking for wedding dresses, that's one thing I had in my head was, even though I never had the big wedding with the big floofy dress, I never wanted to look like a meringue.
That's true.
And it was just
good guide to go by.
So yes, this movie made me laugh. It made me cry. It made me love Hugh Grant even more because, again, you can't... Yes, he does stupid things, but his character is so lovable. And I hate how much he's lovable, but he is.
Okay, that's valid.
Yes. So how did it make you feel?
I avoided it for the first 2 years it was out. Because I was... and it's going to sound stupid. I was in mourning.
Mm-hmm.
And I had come back from California. Still trying to figure out what the hell I was doing. And we were making wedding preparations.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept avoiding this movie. I don't really know why I did that, because it's not like I knew the movie.
Yeah.
I didn't know the ending. If I had, I think I would have been very upset with myself, because I didn't have the courage that he did at the end of the movie.
Yes.
I'm sorry, my mouth is not wanting to work because it's heavy with emotion right now, but I just wish I had had the guts to say what he said.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what his brother said and he translated.
I don't know. You could have won me over with the David Cassidy reference.
Probably. But I just wish that I had had the courage to stay single instead of getting married. And I don't regret my son, but I do regret the days, the hours, the minutes, the weeks, the years wasted. That's kind of the tragedy of trans people in and of itself, is you come out, but you've wasted years.
So I get what you're saying, though, because, like, I wished I had been braver. Like, we were kind of talking about this earlier about, if I knew then what I know now type of a situation. But this would be a prime example, because, honestly, I don't think I ever would have gotten married. Not the first time, at least. I definitely would not have gotten married. I just think that while marriage is important, marriage doesn't change how I feel about that person. All it is a party for other people, and it's stress for
kind
you,
of is.
because you're stressed out, whether you're having a big wedding or a small wedding. Were you not stressed out? I was stressed out,
Yeah.
and you were stressed out for things that I wasn't stressed out for, but vice versa.
Sure.
And we were doing it all ourselves. And with the first wedding, I was stressed about that too. And that was in a church, and that was with the cake, and that was, like the big thing, and family, fuck it. It's just like, you can't make people happy, and it's not their goddamn day.
But it is.
But it is.
That's the two things. Well, let's get into that.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, my feelings were weirdly equal mixes of sorrow and laughter.
Yeah.
So I thought it was funny, but also, man, it hit me so hard that I had trouble breathing the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And that was at the marriage, at his wedding.
Oh yeah.
So, but let's talk about the movie so that we can get into the discussion, because that's what we're trying to do.
So Charles is, again, always late. And that's how basically the movie starts, is him running out the door with Scarlett, their roommates, and they are chronically late to every wedding. And they are somehow involved in, one or the other is involved in the wedding, actual, the wedding party.
Right.
And
well,
so,
I mean, that's the thing, is they are young and unattached to not only a spouse of any kind or a girlfriend, presumably, or boyfriend, but they are also unattached to responsibility.
Yes. We don't know what they do for a living. We kind of,
well, that's the thing, too. That's another thing that we'll get into.
There's no last names. I kind of dig that there's no last names. This movie was supposed to be a screenshot of a group. So you get this not a screenshot, a photograph of this group, and they vary in age. And I'm pretty sure Scarlett's the baby of the group, and they all have different interests, and they all have different socioeconomic levels, and they are all friends. And it's them going from wedding to wedding because they're friends who are ancillary to their group but are still friends, are getting married. They're either meeting at the wedding, like the second...
Well, starting out, that's the case.
Yes, like the second couple meets at the wedding, and Charles meets Carrie at the wedding, at the first wedding, And he, you see that he's immediately enamored by her. But he doesn't know how to describe his feelings. So love at first sight is thrown around a lot. And like, I know at one point he talks to Matthew about it. And Matthew mentions with, how when he met Gareth for the first time and how, that was love at first sight. And then he's like, well, but what does it feel like? And you're like, well, you'll know because you'll feel that. You'll feel that you need to be with that person 100% and not, they're not the person that you just care for. And he knows at this point how much he feels for Carrie.
Yeah.
But by the time he has the courage to say anything, she's engaged to Hamish. And they get invited to her wedding. And unfortunately, and I am speeding through this because
You're
I'm really
jumping right there.
Well, because I want to get to the characters and not just the story.
Yeah.
And then, and that's...
Well, I mean, it's important to understand that all of this group, including the couple, they are all chronically single.
Yes.
So even the couple is not married.
Yes, Gareth and Matthew are not married because this is 1994 and gay marriage is not legalized yet. But when they lose Gareth, and it's Charles and Tom talking about it, and he's like, all this time we've been lamenting about being single, and, and two of us were married, and we didn't even realize it because... First thing, how the fuck did you miss that they were a couple?
I mean, you see what you want to see. You see a group of friends and you just assume they're always friends.
It made me so angry.
Yeah.
When at the funeral, when the priest introduces him as his best friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, that's a
But
blow.
and that is a punch.
Mm-hmm.
And it's there, I think, entirely on purpose. To punch you, to remind you that some people don't have the privilege of being able to say the things they want to say.
And it's just heartbreaking.
Yeah.
They're like the couple that just tears me apart because if you noticed, I did not pay attention.
Yeah.
From midway to of like the halfway point in Carrie and Hamish's wedding, going until after the funeral, because that's the part. From that point forward, I am just like,
well, it's been a while because when I saw the Gareth dancing is when I realized what's about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, damn it, why am I sitting here? I wanted to be walking off from it too, so I could just listen to it and not have to watch it. Because it is devastating.
It is.
It just takes your joy, the joy you're having and the joy you feel that Gareth brings to everything.
Oh, God, and he's so sarcastic, but he's just so loud and blatant about it.
Sure, but he's mean, but he's, hi, precious.
I don't think he's mean. We have been blessed by Miss Poe.
Oh, I love her so much. So...
He's not mean. He's just how do you want to say he's a jerk?
He's not mean.
He's just honest, and he just says what he thinks.
I think he's forthright.
He is.
And I think that he has no problem showing how smart and able he is.
And he is very smart. The references he makes, you have to be... I did not get them when I was younger.
Right.
And, again, 94, I barely graduated high school. Literally, barely made it through that. So I had no understanding of half the people he was talking about and referencing, he had this old lady go, she's like, so you really know Oscar Wilde? And because she was an American, and he's going, oh, yes, I can introduce you, da 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 da. And you're going, wait a minute. See, now when I was younger, when I saw this, I didn't know who Oscar Wilde really was.
Right.
So I didn't get that. Oscar Wilde been fucking dead for decades at this point, you motherfuckers. So I love that. And I love that I can watch a movie and have a new appreciation for characters that I did not have when I watched it when I was younger.
But the thing about Gareth is he's not just gregarious in his actions, the way he dances, or the
Mm-hmm.
way he talks. But he was gregarious in his love.
Oh, yes.
He loved his friends. And when John Hannah, oh my God, when he delivers
The
that,
W.H. Auden's poem.
yeah, oh, it shatters you. You think you're devastated by Gareth's death until that hits you.
So I had a teacher back when I was younger.
Yeah, it was
Actually,
called Funerals Blues.
Funeral Blues, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was in college, actually. I was my first year at community college, so that's going to set the tone. And for years, I believed this because they were an English literature teacher, so you would think that they might know what they're talking about. Ha ha ha, little did I know. And it wasn't until today that I finally went and researched that poem, because that professor convinced me and that whole entire class that that poem was actually a parody, making fun of a politician who had died and how people were reacting towards that politician.
Yeah.
Was, the world has to come to a screeching halt. But he genuinely wrote this poem about grief and sorrow and how the world continues even though you wish it would stop when you lose somebody.
And we've all had those moments.
Oh, fuck yes. But the thing that gets me is he actually, and I didn't write down the singer's name, but he actually had it not rewritten, but remastered it so that way it could be sung. And there's an artist who actually performs this poem.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to look that back up later on. But yeah, it just made me angry that, I learned that back in my late 20s, and I never lost that memory. So for years, I would get pissed at people who were like using that movie or that poem in quotes and talking about death. And I'm going, you're a bunch of idiots. It's a parody. It's making fun of it. And as I was being all like, I'm the intellectual here. And I was wrong because I had one freaking professor insist that that's what the poem was about. And that is how I've always seen it.
I think with poetry, insisting something that a poem is about something usually makes you wrong.
Well, yeah, because poetry is 99% it's objective. Well, it's subjective because
it's subjective, and you'll never understand what the poet actually meant unless the poet tells you directly.
Exactly.
And even if it does, you'll never understand the true meaning of it.
Oh, no.
So one of the things that happens in this film over and over is that they go to an event. That event is a wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And well, they meet up with people. They have the sex.
They do have the sex.
And
they watch people have the sex.
Charles is often in this kind of left out of things because he has his exes around. Like during the one where he gets stuck at the table.
Yeah.
I think that is at
the second wedding.
Yeah, the second wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you.
That was at the couple who she was a bridesmaid expecting to hook up, and he was her friend, and she's like, I'm not that desperate.
Bernard.
And the next thing, Bernard, and then they end up like hooking up, and then now they're married and having the sex. Yeah, and they're very happy.
But, he's left at this table basically being, just reminded of his past.
Yes, he's not being allowed to be forgiven. Which, again, he was a dick, and he said things to people that he probably shouldn't have said, but they're not allowing him to.
But none of this is given to you in context.
No.
Because you're not allowed to see, and that is the thing with me in this movie, is I need the details of something.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that I dislike the movie. I'm saying that the aspect of the movie that I find jarring is that I'm not allowed to see behind the facade that people show.
Yes.
So there is no small talk. And by that, I mean there's no talk amongst spouses, amongst people developing a relationship. There's the sex,
mm-hmm.
and that is afforded as the interaction that you get.
Yes, it is a very shallow, like when it comes to the...
It's shallow in the fact that they cut it. It's like they took a much bigger movie and just sliced off the parts that would have shown you depth.
Yes.
And what you're left with is what those depths would have revealed. But you don't have context for what the reveal is.
Yeah.
So it's like saying, ta-da!
We're getting married!
No, it's like saying ta-da at a magic show without the first part of the magic trick. And you just pull flowers. And you're like, but what was the trick?
Yeah.
So you just have flowers in your hand. What was the trick? Oh, I cut out the part where I have the hat. And I show you the hat, that it's empty. And then I pull the flowers out of the hat. I took all that out because all you're left with is flowers in my hand and me saying ta-da.
And that's the thing, is like the only couple that we see developing anything, there's two couples. You see, sort of three. You see it obviously with Carrie and Charles, because it's them meeting up throughout all these times.
I mean,
but even
you
then,
see
it's
them
not
meeting up, but
none of this is deeper than a teaspoon.
Else,
yeah,
right?
None of this is deeper than a teaspoon. You know that what's her face and Bernard, they hook up because, the sex.
Yeah.
But the only one that I feel like there's more going on in the background would be David and the girl who goes out of her way to learn sign language so she could talk to him.
Yeah. And even those parts, you don't know why she took the time to do it.
Other than her and, what's his face, Matthew talking and saying, calling him a dish. And even Matthew is like, oh yeah, the dish can't hear. So, he has to use sign language and,
So you don't get those parts. And I think that I understand why they did it for this movie. I understand what they were going for. But for me, there's a stillness there.
Like what happened between him and Henrietta or whatever her name is too, because I can't remember all these ancillary. There's too many characters in this movie. But to get him to he went from I'm heartbroken to and my friend's dead to oh shit, I'm gonna marry my ex-girlfriend who everybody else calls Duckface. Actually,
that part I understand more than most. That part I can understand as you're doing something just to feel anything, even if it's disappointment.
I mean, that is true. But and I feel bad for her that he leaves her at the altar, literally. But also, why did you think that this was okay? If he came to me, Hugh Grant motherfucker or not, and said, hey, I think I made a mistake and we should get married and whatever, I would have been like, bitch, you had your chance. But I guess she never got over him and...
Well, the entire movie is kind of a measurement for self-worth. When he's talking in the rain, or not in the rain, when he's talking outside to Carrie the first time, when Charles runs up to Carrie.
Yeah.
And he stops her and he says, I'm in love with you. Quoting
David Cassidy.
Yeah, David Cassidy. That is the reason why he stops. The reason why he doesn't finish what he's saying is because he falls off because he has so little self-worth.
Oh, yeah.
Because what is he going to offer? And it comes down to what do I offer? And a lot of times we will focus on the things that don't mean anything. How much money you have. Can you provide a home? Can you give that person the things they expect? Can you provide a family? Like, can you provide children? There's all these things. But in the end, you're really just saying that all of those things are excuses for why you don't feel you're worth something. Because it should just be about you and that other person.
Yes.
And whether or not you mutually feel that attraction and that you feel sympathetic with them, that there's this you should feel like you're dancing when you're talking to that person.
Mm-hmm.
You should feel like the world doesn't exist for you.
Yeah.
And I think that if it doesn't feel that way, then why are you trying to be together?
I mean, I agree with you. And we see these characters doing this. And I mean, I did it with my first husband because I thought I needed to marry him. I saw all the red flags and flashing lights telling me, don't do this, stop, do not go, do not collect $200. And I never got my $200, but I did go. And it caused so much like stress and pain, and watching like at the end and how those two people are very much in love, and they did not need, I don't know. I mean, it's just such a, I'm talking in circles.
No, I get it because it brings up a lot of emotion. So it's doing its job.
Mm-hmm.
But again, there's a stillness. It's like, I mean, you are watching a movie, but it's like you are very aware of the back of the television.
Yeah.
Because that other part isn't there. So it just hangs there in space, showing you the end results of the thing you're missing.
And here's the thing. Self-esteem is killer. If you don't have it, it will ruin so much of your life. But here's a little gift from me to whoever is listening. Don't make choices based on how you think others see you. Because if you do that, you're no better than a lot of people who take away people's ability to do things, because you are making a choice for that person. If that person comes and says to you, listen, you got to get your shit together. We can't be together until you get your shit together. They're not telling you, they're telling you no, but they're telling you, we got to fix this, okay? And then we can be together. But if you just shut people out, you're not allowing them. And especially if you shut people out without having a conversation with them, you're taking away their autonomy. They're not able to make a choice because you've just said, no, I'm not good enough. Well, you may not think you're good enough, but that person may think you're fucking, what? The bee's knees, the dog's bollocks,
Cat's pajamas.
The witch's titty. I don't know.
That's not a saying. Not at all. It's colder than a witch's tit.
I know.
Which makes no sense because we wear nice shirts and we have comforters.
My boobies is warm.
Yeah.
But yes, it's still like, it's all about giving people the opportunity to make their own choices. And
I think a lot of times when we cut off those choices, it's because we expect the bad answers.
Oh, no, we do. But I still do it to this day. I'm learning. Again, you can only get better by learning. But I try not to do it because it's not my place to make a decision for somebody else. It's not my place to take away their autonomy. So, and that should go, it's not just about making choices in everyday life. It should also include yourself. You are a choice for somebody. They may see you as the sparkling sun, even if you think that you are dirty snow on the side of the road. You just need to stop and talk.
Yeah. So this movie itself is made up of these 5 microcosms that are all kind of just forced together. They're in a linear format. But all 5 of them, despite the thing that they're supposed to represent, 4 marriages, 4 weddings, and a funeral, they are all each one of them about love and loss in different ways. So the love is displayed differently in each one of them,
Mm-hmm.
and the loss is displayed in each one of them. And the funeral is no different from the weddings in any way. There is the same makeup of the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
It involves the funeral. There is laughter, there are tears. There is the love, which is displayed for all to see, and it's put upon a stage. And then there's the loss as you walk away. And it is shown on each one of these. And a lot of that loss is displayed in the weddings by Charles's point of view.
Mm-hmm.
He loses each one of these times that he attends a wedding. I don't think he knows that he's losing at first.
I don't think so either.
But he's not even the one that's losing the most. The person who's losing the most through all of this, for all three of the weddings, is Carrie herself.
Mm-hmm.
She keeps losing, not because she made a wrong choice. Well, I'm not going to point out the morality tale of this, because I think everyone has their own morality. Mine doesn't align with their scenario.
Mm-hmm.
But it is not up to me to decide how they should live.
No.
I'm sure it was written for that effect. Much like the body count that comes out of nowhere.
Oh my God. Yes, the body count. Yeah, I don't think he expected it to be in the 30s.
Sure.
But even then, it's not, it's just, we're not judging the body count, but definitely for Charles, it was overwhelming to hear. She remembered every one of them.
Yeah, but it's important though to be distinct about the fact that he was not upset with her for having 30.
No.
He felt inadequate because he did not have 30.
Oh yeah, that was why he was overwhelmed. It had nothing, because you don't see him being upset at all. I love, like I said, that she, good and bad, she remembers them all.
Well, and I think some of it because she is very dry and she does fuck with him sometimes.
Oh yeah.
That some of it may be her fucking with him, but I think that I don't know if the body count was put in there as a shock value, but what I do think it did is it cemented the fact that his feelings of inadequacy were going to be the thing that gets in his way.
Yeah, and so there's a couple things that like really point out the time period. Again, 1994. So yes, the body count was most likely put in there as a shock thingy.
The lack of electricity.
Yes, no, definitely. You know, the sepia toned photographs, definitely. Yeah. So I just slapped my own elbow.
Bad elbow.
Wham! Crossing my arms because I talk with my hands. So what bothers me is not only did they seem to feel the need to put this body count in this movie, it's this, you know, the American girl is a slut, because that's literally the first thing Fiona says. She's a slut. And don't get me wrong, I love Fiona. I love her cold aloofness. I wish I could be her when I grow up. But also, what the fuck is wrong with her? You know,
I don't think it's cold aloofness. It displays like that, but it is pained aloofness.
Oh, no. She is so in love with Charles. It's not until she stops loving him that she starts to actually, and I hate to say this because it sounds so cliche, but she starts to love herself.
I mean, it's true though, because she has focused so much emotion on him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was saying before. I feel like I wasted so much time investing in the things that were not important.
Mm-hmm.
Where I should have invested that time was in me, so that when we were able to get together, I could have been better, or, working on myself.
Oh, yeah. No, I get that.
And I think that's the same with her. Fiona is fantastic,
Mm-hmm.
but she's her own worst enemy. And she's Charles for all intents and purposes because she feels inadequate. She's aloof because she's hurt and
Mm-hmm.
she doesn't know how to fix it.
No.
But the fix was always there with her. She just had to focus on herself and not to focus on Charles, who never even knew that she was in love with him.
Never. It wasn't even until she tells him.
I don't know how to wear, to do anything other than to wear my heart on my sleeve. I do not have that ability to hide an emotion.
Mm.
So for her to be able to do that consistently, but then again, Charles didn't realize that the gay couple was a gay couple.
See, I can hide my emotions on my face. It's my mouth's ability to shut the fuck up and keep them to myself. There's where I've got a problem. But my other issue with this movie, because again, past lens, is why did the couple that had to lose somebody in a death, why was it the gay couple? Why were they the expendable couple in this story?
Well, I actually
Granted,
think I know the reason.
I know that Gareth is older.
Sure.
And I know that, oh God, I hate when he says, when Matthew's like, he had such a big heart. Too bad it was, it was also weak. It was a very weak heart. And it's like, oh my God. And the only thing I love is that he did not see him go down.
Yeah.
Oh
no, the feeling of him, first of all, he was in the midst of chanting with the crowd.
Yep.
When he got the news.
Mm-hmm.
So it is that it hits you out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So the thing of the bolt of lightning is when you fall in love and it's love at first sight, it's a bolt of lightning.
Mm-hmm.
But the loss also is, and I think that displayed it in a non-audible way because you don't hear them talking.
No, you just hear the crowd.
You hear the crowd and you see him reacting and it hits you.
Oh, yeah. And I'm glad that it was Charles who went to him and told him. It should have never been, it couldn't be anybody else. It had to be Charles. It would have been weird coming from anybody else. But it was the realization of them knowing he was gone and then him going to find Matthew and to tell him. It's just to the idea of knowing that the person that you love the most in this world is no longer there. I can't fathom that level of pain. Because for me, that would come from losing you or one of the children. And I can't even wrap my brain around that happening.
Oh, I live in fear of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't address it.
Yeah. I think
that's a problem. That is a problem to not be able to address those things.
I think when so I have a problem with anxiety. I have to take medication for it. And I've always been anxious and I've always had problems with depression, and they do feed into each other. And it was 2022 that it was right after my graduation from my master's degree. And I thought it was because I no longer was going to school. And I had so much to, even though I was starting a classroom and teaching and I had a ton of things on my plate. But I think it was this, I had convinced myself that it was this step back away from education and not having that extra worry in the back of my head that all of a sudden made my anxiety peak up. And, I noticed it more. But I think it was the fact that our youngest also graduated from high school shortly before that. And our other two were on their own. And it was gnawing away at me that I no longer had any way. I didn't know she was going to live with us for another 3 years or so. But I think it was, I think I was really in my head, whether I was verbally or consciously aware of it, I think it was the fear of them all being gone.
Yeah.
And there was a lot going on, and I don't doubt that the school thing had to do with it as well. There was just a cosmic clash of stuff happening at one time that made my anxiety just skyrocket. And I'm too afraid to go off, even gradually, of my medicine to see if it's there or gone. But I definitely, that's the biggest loss. And having children is scary in itself. And you're always worried about, when you marry somebody, you're still a separate person. And while there is that fear that, like, if you don't tell me you're at work, I'll go, oh shit, is she okay? Or if you don't tell me that, like, if I don't get the text because I'm in a bad area and I don't get the text telling me that you're heading home, I'll be like, oh shit, And I know it's daily and it's stupid, but it's there. When you have a child, it's so weird how your body and your mind just, it's a scramble of frustration. I always had this whole thing of like, as long as I could see my 3 children, I knew they were safe. And then we went on an airplane. And that was the first time I had been on an airplane since I was pregnant with our first. And I had all 3. And we had to sit, unfortunately, separately, but each child was with an adult because I was with a few adults. And that was the first time that I genuinely know I had an anxiety attack.
Yeah.
And then, oh my God, it was just, and then the flight back was no better. I've not flown with them ever since. But then when we moved out here, and the first time I took them up to the mountains, and here's my jackass of a teenage son, the oldest one, going really close to a cliff. And all I could think is him falling off the edge because we were at an overlook and there's people all around, but this butthole decides to go right to the edge. And that feeling came right back of I can't protect them. And it was this realization that you cannot protect them all the time. So yes, I know I went off on a totally different tangent, but for me, that's where my fear comes in. And I have chilled out to a certain degree because they are all adults, but don't think my youngest has the Life 360 with us, we have her with that. And the oldest one, if he doesn't text me every day and or call me every afternoon, then I know something else is wrong. The middle one, he's indifferent towards life. He checks in when he checks in. I see his posts on Instagram, all
social media.
Not Instagram, Snapchat. He is always posting on Snapchat. If a day goes by where he hasn't posted a picture of his dog, then I know that he's not doing good. But yeah, otherwise I would fear all the time.
Yeah, well, this movie wants you to believe that this is about a boy not being able to say I love you and hold that. But it isn't. It's not at all.
No.
It's about love and loss. And it's about the losing as much as it is about the love.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think losing matters that much if you don't love.
Oh, no.
The losses they endure, the losses we endure, they mean more because we love before that loss. We love through that loss, and we love after that loss.
People who say that they don't want to love, or they don't want to open themselves up for that pain of loss, you still experience the pain of loss.
Yeah, you just don't get to get the love part.
Yeah, just open up your heart.
I thought you were going to sing the end of Scrooged or something.
No.
Put a little love in your heart, that's all.
Put a little love in your heart.
But anyway, so Charles, at the end of this whole thing, is going to be marrying Duckface, which...
Poor hen.
I know. And it's not a real name, but that's what we call her. And, Richard Curtis, he knows it. So, we watched them walk toward the wrong life at the wedding.
Yes.
They're going right to and you're like, this is not right. This feels
how
wrong.
It's supposed to be.
Right. I love that his brother got to be the one to say.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought it was such a good take because it was his brother was saying translate for me, but what was really happening is he got to say the words
Yes, out
that he was
loud.
having trouble saying.
And I think it would not have been the same if Carrie had interrupted the wedding and said something.
Oh no, it would not.
It would have been like the reverse of, like you expect it. You expect when the priest says, whoever who does not think this couple should get married, blah, 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 blah. And you hear that knocking noise of somebody interrupting, and you think for a hot second, it's Carrie. And then it's David. It's not. David stands up and he's like, translate for me. And then, he signs at Charles. But the old man at the wedding, hi, I'm Charles. No, you're not. I would, yes. Do you think I would not know my brother? It's like, what? But Charles has been dead for years.
But the whole thing is that Carrie had her wedding.
Yes.
And he did not stop that one.
No, he did not.
And she did not stop his. Why? Because no one does that in real life.
Nobody does that except in movies.
Right. But his brother did it because he needed to help his brother say the words.
Yes.
So it wasn't really his brother talking. It was really Charles. And he got to avoid.
Oh my goodness.
Our puppy just barreled through. You're so happy. What's wrong? Did you get into the end?
We're almost done.
You just barreled right on in. With the tippy tappies. Can you get on the carpet? Can you get Winifred. On the carpet, please?
Winifred.
Okay, we're gonna pause. Okay, so I successfully corralled Winnie the itty bitty pitty.
Itty bitty pitty, the tippy tappy dog.
She's a little tippy tappy. She was very excited. I think she woke up and realized we're not in the room.
Yeah. And that's like, oh my God.
She is adorable, but she is high strung.
And hot mess on wheels. Without the wheels.
So, yeah, he gets to say the words.
Yes.
Charles gets to say the words, the things that are the hardest things to say, the ones I did not have the courage to say and should have. But it's not even that moment. It hits you. It's a deep moment that, again, loses context because the other end is cut off. So you have to fill that in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the rain at the end, when it's raining, and it's after the wedding is over. It's been canceled. This wedding's canceled due to rain.
They say it's good luck if it rains on your wedding. It rained on my first one.
So it's a lie.
It's a lie.
But he doesn't go looking for Carrie, and I like that. And Carrie doesn't necessarily go running up to him right after the wedding and dragging him off. We're going to get married and go to Vegas or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's him at home with his friends, the people who are always with him, and they're trying to console him because he is beside himself. Not necessarily for himself. He feels bad for what he did to her.
And I love how David...
To duck face.
Yes. And I love how David is like, I blame myself. And he says that in sign language. And Hugh Grant goes, well, he translates for everybody. And he's like, yeah, David thinks that, it's his fault. And everyone's like, oh, no. And then he signs back at him. They all think it's your fault. I love that.
I mean, they have really good, funny moments. But so Carrie knocks on the door. And they start talking. He comes outside to talk to her, and they're getting rained on.
Mm-hmm.
And this is that moment of, the cleansing rain, basically. This is where everything gets cleared up. It's clumsy, it's late, it's a little stupid, but it's worth every single second of standing in a puddle.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you take into account that they're just ignoring the rain isn't the factor. It is the exhale. It is the moment of the collapse of your guard, your shield, the thing that you put up is melted away, not by the rain, but just by admitting that you care about someone and allowing them the dignity and the ability and the autonomy to say it back to you.
Amen.
And that is the moment, I think, where I just start crying. And it's not because they're getting together. Even if they were to stay apart, it's a brutal, honest moment. Brutally honest moment. It's that moment in which there are no shields. And that's like the hardest thing to do for a character is to not put a shield up, to not have something between you and the other person that you're holding back.
Yes.
And he's not asking her to marry him.
No.
She's not asking that of him. He just says, I want to be with you. And that is what it means for them. It doesn't, that is one of the things that I didn't like about all the other weddings is it doesn't have to be a wedding. It just has to be a commitment for each of you in the fashion that you deem compatible with your life.
That first wedding. Oh, my Lord. If you've done the vows already, you don't need to be keeping people there for the entertainment.
No.
Save that for the reception.
That's crazy. But I think that, it's the so polyamorous people, they can have their thruples and they can have these different relationships. And I think that's fantastic for them. If that is something they feel that they're mutually, good with and they enjoy it and it's binding for them, then that is great. And I think it's that way for couples as well. But it's also good if you're just single. You do not have to get married to have a fulfilling life.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of this that gets pushed on you.
Oh, that you have to get married. They're looking for,
Well, even at the end of the movie, the snapshots, the montage that goes through is of a bunch of marriages or couples. And you do not have to be a couple to be fulfilled in life. I think it's great because they're doing that kind of thing where it's love. But, you can love yourself. You can love who you are. You can love your life. You can love your animals. You can love your plants. Love is all around us. And so the feeling goes.
Oh, God. Christmas is all around.
I've worked really hard to pull that in to the bottom end of this episode so that I could get that for you.
Out of all of the little snapshots at the end, I love that Scarlett got her Texan.
Yeah,
that's the one who I think was,
I think he's very progressive Texan.
He really is, because she's a feisty little booger. But
so I think more than the said things, things that are said, I think that I want to just make sure I'm not like telling people I'm criticizing this part of it. The parts that aren't said, the things that you miss in the film that are cut away like with a knife on a razor's edge, and you see and you feel it, you know that it's missing, is there, I think, for a reason, or at least they should say that so that they can seem really cool. But I think it's the unsaid things. It's the things that aren't discussed. This is not about magic. This is just about relationships.
Yes.
And we're full of unsaid things, the things that we don't say that we should say. I mean, how many times have we watched TV shows or movies and they don't say the fucking words?
That's
just say the fucking words.
What I'm sitting here thinking. I was going to say that seems to be like a theme with us. Say the things. Talk to the people. It just pisses me off that people don't talk.
Right.
And then I'm always accused of saying too much. Well, because y'all don't fucking talk. I need to fill in the space.
I can't have silence in this.
And well, it's just, say the things. And sometimes I just don't feel like people understand me, so I over-explain. But that's me. I need to explain. I want you to over-explain it to me.
But, yeah, and you have to have the courage to remove the humor from because it's your armor. You have to have the courage to remove that armor.
Oh, yeah.
And if you can't do that, you don't respect yourself enough to be honest about your feelings.
Yeah.
It took me so long to get there because I use comedy constantly.
Well, I always feel bad. So like my assistant, she'll tell me something about herself, and she's like, I know I don't talk about myself a lot, and I am always telling her, listen, just because I am an open book, that the pages are glued wide open in big, huge text with a speaker on the side does
Easy
not
to
mean
read font.
Exactly, does not mean that you have to. I don't expect people to tell me everything about their life when I'm busy already telling them about mine. I don't know how not to do this.
Be
this
a
is
cell
how
in the bottom right corner.
Basically, I just don't know how to relate to other human beings without telling them about who I am and where I came from. But other people are able to do it. Bless them. I don't expect that. But we talk. You know, she talks to me and I talk to her. And I love her in her Colombian accent. And sometimes I don't understand, but I understand her better than most people who come and talk to her, because sometimes we'll have like admin and stuff come in who see her all the time and they'll be like, she'll say something and I'm sorry, what? And I'll say, oh, she said this. And I say, I know how to speak her language. I can't speak Spanish, but I can understand her.
I think I know why this film is probably one of your favorites. It's because in the first 4 minutes, fuck is said like more than 11 times.
Yes. Well, actually, no, not because of that. I actually think that is like, it's funny, but I can imagine the read, you know, when they're sitting around a table reading this and, you know, Hugh Grant going, fuck, fuck, fuck. And then Charlotte going, fuck. And they're like, okay, well, wait a minute. Why did we say fuck 15 times?
And how many fucks does it take to get a rating, you know, done? And right now we're pushing.
Oh, my Lord. It's one of my favorite 4-letter words. I know a lot of $10 to $15 words, but that's my favorite little $2 word. I give it a price value.
One of the things I loved is that Kristen Scott Thomas improvised the delivery of Fiona's confession.
Did not know that.
Yeah, so when she told him, that was her just talking.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that is a raw-ass emotional moment.
Yeah.
So much so that she had to walk away during it.
Oh.
And I'm like, that is just, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that when you put that much of yourself into a scene. It's pretty amazing.
Oh, definitely. So how does this movie make you feel now?
Oh, just wrung the fuck out. I think it makes me feel angry at Charles, happy for Charles.
I know. It's like I'm angry at him for
I'm angry, happy for Charles and for Carrie. You know what I did decide is that I actually didn't care that much about the main group of friends as much as I cared about the little groups of people that you see in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Or, and I'm sorry, Bernard and
I cannot think of her name.
But
Lydia?
Them two being happy, just genuinely happy without the artifices of the things that are happening around them. They don't care. They're just doing their thing and they're in love and they're just moving through it.
And Hugh Grant getting caught in the bedroom that they decide to go fook in, and he thinks he's escaping and he ends up in the fucking bathroom.
In the water closet, yeah. But that doesn't even faze them.
No.
When they see him, they're like,
hey!
they're loving their life. Mm-hmm. And those are good things.
They had the giggliest sex ever.
Right. And I love that for them. They got to, I mean, and that's another thing too, is like Charles and Carrie's initial lovemaking was full of talk.
Oh, yes.
And I love that because I think it should be. I don't think it should be awkward. It should be something that's fun for you and something you enjoy and something you can discuss while you're just, you can discuss things and still be sensual and still enjoy it and still be in love. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it has to be in, just a bunch of grunts and, I don't know, like Barry White in the background. It can be like a real moment for all of you, and you can joke, you can be stupid, you can just be yourself, and I kind of love that. And so yeah, the emotions I have for the movie, while I see a lot of things with startling clarity now, and in some ways it diminishes the movie, it also endears it more to me now because it means more, because it's like grabbing a ghost. It's like having your hands on a ghost. Now I know that the parts are missing. The parts that are there mean so much more.
True.
So I feel really like I kind of love it. I kind of love this movie.
Yeah. I feel that I mean, I love this movie. I also love the fact that even though this is a 1994 movie and you know it based on the clothing and the haircuts and the homophobia to a certain degree because they did kill the gay guy off.
Sure.
Yeah. There are issues with this movie, but it's also very, I think, timeless. Like, even though you know it takes place in the past, I didn't feel, sometimes when we watch things, the older stuff, I kind of get that weird, like, almost an uncanny valley aspect of, oh God, were we really like that? Or just that creeped out, meh. That's why I can't watch certain TV shows that are too old. And I don't get that with this. Like, I know that it takes place in, when I was 20,
Yeah.
But also,
it doesn't feel displaced in time.
No, like things really haven't changed all that much. It has technologically,
but they're not
politically.
Highlighted. Those aren't highlighted in the movie. Yeah.
Again, they didn't even give them last names.
True.
So, it is time for the stitch count. We are going to run this film through the Castellini Test, the inclusivity and gaze lens, and then our Tremors gold standard. We're going to poke at it. We're going to try to see if we can find some loose, frayed ends and see, well, does this film make a nice, warm, cozy quilt, or is it going to fall apart when the moths look at it?
Let's look at the Castellini Test. Yes. There have to be at least 2 named women characters with at least 5 lines of dialogue each.
Well, we've got 3. We've got at least Carrie, Fiona, and Scarlett.
True enough. I say that passes.
Okay.
Those characters must have a conversation, not necessarily with the other woman, either not about their partner or with their partner, future or current, and not about their relationship. Good luck with that one.
Because this whole movie is about relationships.
And again, that whole back end is cut off.
So we never really see them talking about anything but relationships.
Well, relationships is fine, just not their relationships. So do we have any instances in which any of the women...
I mean... well, Scarlett doesn't talk about her relationships with anybody. Really,
that's true.
She just shows up, has a good old time, and hooks up, but she doesn't talk to anybody about her hookup.
Well, and I have to say that Fiona does not until she talks about Charles, but she doesn't even say who that is for the longest time.
No, but she does talk shit about his relationships, but she's talking to other people.
About other people's relationships, not hers.
No, not hers.
I want to give this a pass.
I'm going to give it a pass.
I think there's enough dialogue in this that is not directly about their relationships that is fine.
And I want to go on a little side quest here. I'm blaming Bob's Burgers and their parody episodes when they have the episode when they're telling the story, the end of the movie because the power went out of the movie, and how the guy and he's supposed to be Hugh Grant. And watching this movie, I never noticed how many times he goes He chokes on his words, and it's like, it's endearing, but dear Lord, I was annoyed by it this time. But I think it's because of Bob's Burgers making, teasing.
I think it becomes a lot like, and I really dislike people using vocal fry as a slur. People have vocal fry. People use vocal fry. We use language to do things. Get over it.
My voice does it automatically. I don't even...
But
do it on purpose.
we use our words, and we accent those words to display emotions or to display what we're thinking.
Oh, yeah.
Get over the fact that people use vocal fry. Stop
It's like
bitching about it.
It's like rolling your tongue when you say R's. Some people can and some people can't. And it's a case of you do it if you can, but you don't really think about it. If you hear a word that has that R that's rolled, you automatically do that if you're able to do it. But if you're not, you just don't do it.
But we have people at work that use that kind of, that, not stuttering, it's these interruptions of their words in order to formulate what they're thinking.
I wish I could do that.
That's what they're doing. And that's what he is doing, is those pauses give you time.
Oh, yeah. No. And I wasn't making fun of that.
I didn't think you were.
It was just, like I said, I just kept thinking of the parody on Bob's Burgers, and that was like driving me nuts in my head because I kept wanting to laugh at it when he was being serious, but it had nothing to do with that. Sorry.
At least one of the women has to be integral to the plot, meaning that if she were written out of the film, it could not reach the same ending.
Well, yeah, Carrie.
I mean, true enough. I think there are many women in this that if they weren't in it, they couldn't reach the same ending, because a lot of these are heterosexual
couples,
marriages and relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So, sure. So it'll pass the Castellini test. They have agency. Let's put it that way.
Okay. So let us look at...
So that gives us 1 point.
1 point. And
one ping only.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. I didn't even do the Scottish... I didn't do it at all.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. I'm not going to do the accent because I can't do Sean Connery.
Okay, so let's look at inclusivity. Gays.
Yeah, the score is on or off. It's either 0 or 1, and we have a maximum of 4.
Yes.
So it's racial diversity with agency, not just background.
No.
Hell no. I don't even remember anyone of color. I don't...
Maybe a wedding person.
I don't remember.
Yes, at one of the weddings, there was a black man. And that's all I remember, because I just remember him.
So, yeah, no.
And I don't remember.
On this.
Nope, so, yep, no.
It's a whole bunch of mayo.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry.
I mean, it is the British Islands, but they're pretty diverse over there, so it could have been a bit more diverse.
Yeah, come on. So the second one is LGBTQ presence that isn't a punchline or a tragedy. And unfortunately...
you got me on the tragedy.
The tragedy exists. And it exists on the one gay couple there.
Yep. That are not a punchline. Because nobody makes fun of them.
They're absolutely not a punchline in any way.
But they are a tragedy.
They are a tragedy, so it gets a 0 there as well. Third one is age, body type, or disability treated with dignity. I think so.
I think so, because they don't ever make any comments about David not hearing, other than saying he doesn't hear. They do make, at the funeral, at Gareth's funeral,
it's done with dignity.
It is done with dignity.
In fact, it's done in point of dignity.
Yes, because he says he talked to a bunch of people and what they remembered about him, and one of the things was that he was fat. But the people who came to him and said what they remember most about him, that was not even a factor.
Right. This was pointing out the difference between people that love you and the people that don't know you at all.
Exactly. So I'll give it that point for that one.
Yeah. Camera gaze, not relentlessly sexualized or punitive. I think they did a fantastic job of showing not just the beauty of the women and the men in this movie, but they did it in such a way as to stay away from over-sexualizing an already charged situation. And the rain,
yeah. Well, that in I was gonna say when Carrie and Charles hook up the first time, yes, you see skin, but it is done in a way where it's not supposed to be titillating. It's supposed to show you a sensuous moment between two people who barely know each other.
Right.
When the couple are having sex on the bed after the wedding, they just got married, you don't see any skin. she's still fully clothed, then he is mostly fully clothed, you know?
And it aims mostly at their faces.
Yeah. So
if it cuts there at all.
And there's nobody, like, there's no that girl dressed. I mean, when he sees Carrie, Carrie is dressed in that 90s, very Puritan style of,
Right.
The jackets and the big hats, and because it's wedding clothing. And nobody is dressed, even like Scarlett's dress, it's not low cut. None of her dresses
Well, even
are.
when her back is out of the dress because she dropped the bow.
She's wearing blue granny panties.
Right. So these are not, they did a really great job of not hitting that mark in the 90s of over-sexualizing something just because it's a romantic comedy.
Exactly.
And I think they did a great job. So we'll give it a point on that. So we have, 2 points on that?
2 points for inclusivity and gays, yes.
Okay. Now let's get to the Tremors Index. Now this is based upon the Tremors movie, which we feel is the pinnacle of movies. And you think we're joking, but think about it. Listen to our previous podcast, and maybe you'll come to your own conclusions.
Yes.
But there's 0 to 4, so it can be 0 below Tremors, 1 approaches Tremors, 2 Tremors adjacent, 3 Tremors level, and 4 exceeds Tremors. And those are the levels of the index. Where do you think it falls on the Tremors Index?
I am going to say 1. It's approaches Tremors, because we do have some inclusive instincts, which we have David, but the uneven follow through. There could have been more.
And maybe not a tragedy.
Exactly. The characters show skill, but authority still defaults to the usual suspects, meaning that for this movie, they're trying to find love. That is the skill. But the people who get the love are the ones who, we knew that Hugh Grant was going to find love with Andie MacDowell because blah, blah, blah. Now, while they do have other characters who do fall in love, again, you don't have to get married. And they did not get married, but other characters did. So it almost negates that whole thing, because everybody else, all the hetero couples got married other than those two. And we can assume Matthew's new boyfriend.
Yeah. So progress with friction as well. So it is progressive, but there are some friction points to that progression.
Yes. So I'm going to say 1.
I agree. I'm going to agree with you. So the Tremors Index, we got a 1. So
okay.
What do we have as a total for the stitch count?
4 out of 9.
Okay, well, I know it sounds low, but really this is a respectful film.
It really is, though.
I think that score is good.
It's reflective of the time period.
For the early 90s, I think it's excellent.
Yes.
Even though Tremors did the same thing.
Like, I would give it a 0.5 point just because of the time period.
But it's going to be 4 out of 9.
Yeah.
Is the stitch count. And we'll leave it at that, because I don't think it takes away from the movie.
No.
It's just our opinion. You should watch the movie.
So, if you would like to watch this movie, you can find it in all of these places. Now, bear with me. It's going to be a minute. Tubi, Pluto TV, MGM Plus, YouTube, and YouTube TV. Amazon Prime, not Amazon Plus. Fandango at Home, Google Play, Fubo, Sling, Philo, Apple. And you can find them either through subscription, or we saw it for $2.99 all the way to $5.99.
Yeah.
To rent, not to own.
So thank you for joining us for 4 Weddings and a Funeral, 1994. This has been Cozy Quilt Cinema with Beth and Michelle. We loved having you as our +1 as we share the feelings that movies can leave lingering with us well after they are over. There you are, just living your life, slightly underdressed for the occasion, and suddenly something in this film catches you completely off guard, and it won't let go. It's all around you, really. It always has been. And if this one moved you, made you laugh, made you reach for something you have been meaning to say, that's kind of the point. So keep those feelings going. Follow us on Instagram and Blue Sky at Cozy Quilt Cinema, or send us your feedback, personal reflections to cozyquiltcinema@gmail.com. You can always find our episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, and please consider subscribing and leaving a rating to help this community grow.
So until next time, here are your clues for our next movie. There's a lot of nexts in that sentence. Okay, these are kind of vague. This actor's, it's not one of his most popular movies, but we adore it for its own cheese factor. So we're going to do that. So this is directed by my favorite Ghostbuster. It is also co-written by my favorite movie, Lush. One scene of this movie, the lead actress, she actually looks at the director off screen because the co-lead actor was making dolphin sounds, and it is in the film. And the director, aka my God, is actually playing the guitar that you hear. Like, you hear him playing guitar, but you see the lead actor playing the guitar because this person did not know how to play. This is a hard one to try to break down into clues because there's a lot of vignettes in this movie, and I focused on one vignette for my clues. Do you remember what it is? We talked about it earlier.
Yeah, I absolutely remember what it is.
Because we couldn't remember it this morning when we were driving to the store.
I was like, what did I just did research on
I
this.
know.
Oh, I don't remember. And it took me forever, but I did know it had an S in it.
It does not have an S in it.
I know. That's the problem.
So that's another clue for you. So
It doesn't have an S in it.
It does not have an S in it. So until next time, my friends, love is in the air. It's everywhere.
No, that's not.
No,
that's
it's
not
Christmas is in the air.
No, none of that is true.
It's a jolly holiday.
No, I'm not doing this with you right now. I want to get a not divorce.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
A toast before we go into battle. True love, in whatever shape or form it may come. We all in our dotage be proud to say, I was adored once too. True love. True love. True love.